Welcome to our video presentation of Down by the Lake by Billy Van, a chilling tale from the book The Willies, narrated by John Stahl. Prepare yourself for a story that intertwines the past and present, as a haunting history resurfaces with a vengeance. It all began 30 years ago on a dark and stormy night, when a distressed mother and her abused daughter found themselves at the edge of the lake. Filled with anger and despair, the mother unleashed her rage upon the innocent child, leading to a tragic end. The car plunged into the depths of the lake, sealing their fate. The little girl's desperate struggle against the lake's overwhelming power was in vain, as she joined the car at the bottom. Fast forward to the present day, where Molly and her mother arrive at the lake, unaware of the dark history that lies beneath its surface. Strange occurrences start to unfold as Molly hears a soft voice calling her name, seemingly carried by the whispering wind. Ignoring the voice, Molly carries on, but as night falls, the new house becomes a haunting place filled with unsettling noises. Join us as we delve deeper into the chilling tale of Down by the Lake. Brace yourself for a haunting journey filled with dark secrets, supernatural forces, and the unrelenting power of the lake's history.
Down by the lake. It was a dark and stormy night as a small two-door sedan pulled up to the lake. "Damn it, Hannah! Shut the hell up!" The lady spoke in a very hateful manner. "Stop it, Mommy! Stop it! I want to go home," the little girl pleaded. The way she was bruised and the way she reacted to her mother's touch, it was obvious that she was an abused child. As the lady revved up the engine, she threw the car into gear, landing it into the lake. The car tipped up and the lake consumed it whole. The poor little girl sat helplessly in the back seat, kicking and screaming, making a valiant effort to escape. Unfortunately, the lake was too powerful. The car gracefully waded itself through the deep body of water and settled heavily at the bottom. 30 years later. "Molly, hurry up and grab the bag of clothes. I would like to be moved by noon, you know," the mother sarcastically instructed her daughter, Molly, as she ransacked through their car that sat solely beside the lake. "I can't believe we got such a great deal on this lake house," the mother thought aloud as she fragilely unpacked a box of collectibles. As Molly continued to wrestle with the bag of clothes that was buried beneath boxes and suitcases, she was suddenly distracted. She heard a voice. It was a soft voice. It could have possibly been the voice of an angel. Whatever it was, it did not matter. The spooky part was it knew Molly's name, and it said it repeatedly. It was a voice so serene that it blended with the gentle breeze that rustled through the leaves and filled the area with a botanical essence that was so therapeutic. Molly chose to ignore it as she continued to drag the bag of clothes out of the car and into the house. Later that night, as Molly lay in bed, she stared at the ceiling, counting the little spots that blemished the tile overhead. The new house was settling, and Molly was slightly frightened by all the strange noises she was hearing. In the kitchen, Molly's mother was preparing herself a cup of coffee when she looked outside and noticed that it began to rain. She slammed down her cup, shattering it on the counter, and immediately ran out to her car to roll up her windows. As she reached out to grab the handle, she had a strange premonition. She envisioned an incident that was unbeknownst to her. She saw a car facing the lake and heard the scream of a little girl. Suddenly, she came back to reality. She stood still as the screaming continued. "Molly!" the mother exclaimed as she ran into the house and straight to Molly's room. "What is it, Molly?" There's a little girl in my closet," Molly explained as her lips quivered, resulting in a slight stutter. Molly's mother looked around. "Oh, Molly, there's nothing in here. Just us." That night, Molly's mother stayed in bed with her, singing Down in the Valley until Molly, finally, drifted off to sleep. The next day, Molly's mother awoke to a disturbing splashing noise. The sound was mixed with screaming and arguing, as well as the sound of a little girl's cry. Even though she was awake, she sat primarily in her subconscious. The racket she was hearing instantly jerked her out of her subconscious state and back into reality. As she sat still for a moment, she seemed confused and disoriented. She looked around and realized that she was in her car. In front of her was the lake. "I didn't park this way," she thought aloud. Suddenly, she heard a noise in the back seat and felt the car slightly shake. As she slowly turned around, frightened by the uncertainty of what was behind her, she found Molly in a deep sleep. What's going on?" she questioned under her breath. In an effort to debunk the paranormal event, she just convinced herself that she was losing her mind. She grabbed Molly, headed into the house, and gently placed her back into bed. Later that evening, while Molly's mother sat by the bay window reading a book, she, suddenly, felt a slight chill. She started to shiver and wondered why it was so cold. As she got up to adjust the thermostat, she glanced out the window and noticed that Molly stood at the edge of the lake. "Molly!" the mother shouted frantically as she darted out the door. As she approached Molly, she reached out to grab her shoulder. When the little girl turned around, the mother realized that it wasn't Molly at all. Instead, it was a little girl about Molly's age. She had a very pale complexion, and her eyes were as big and as black as coal. Molly's mother stood and stared at her in disarray when, suddenly, the little girl made the strangest, most terrifying shrill. Her mouth opened up, peeling back her face as a swarm of mosquitoes came jetting out. Molly's mother suddenly awoke. She sat curled up in her chair with the book on her lap positioned face down. She realized she was dreaming and looked out the window at the lake to make sure Molly was not there. It was apparent that it was all just an awkward nightmare, but still, she felt so very cold. "Molly! Molly!" the voice called. It was the small voice of a little child. Molly woke up, disturbed by the noise. The voice continued to call out. Finally, Molly answered. "Come play with me," the small voice said. "I'm down by the lake. Mommy won't let me go nowhere else." The small voice continued to cousin Molly. The voice was ghostly and very haunting. Yet, it was so soft. It had the innocence that only a small child could possess, and a slight reverb, almost like it was hidden between the layers of imagination that separate dreams from reality. Mesmerized by the voice, Molly crawled out of bed and headed to the lake. As Molly approached the lake, it began to rain very hard. A bright flash caught Molly's attention from behind her. As she turned around, she realized that it was the headlights on her mother's car. "Get in the car, Molly! Get in now!" her mother demanded. Molly asked no questions, nor did she hesitate. She crawled into the back seat as her mother fastened her in. By now it started to thunder and lightning struck down. The storm picked up heavily. It had the potential to develop a hurricane. Molly's mother made sure that the seatbelt was very secure. Molly became frightened. She looked up and noticed that her mother was not the same person. It was as if she had been possessed by evil. Molly's mother was being very mean and aggressive. Suddenly, she threw the car into drive and floored the accelerator. The car was headed directly toward the lake. Molly's mother unimpeded an impious laugh that echoed throughout the area. The car splashed into the lake as history repeated itself. "Molly! Molly! Wake up and grab the clothes out of the car." "Sheesh, I guess you expect me to do it all." "Not today. Not on my watch. You'll help out or you won't get to play later, Missy," the mother said as Molly stood still, hypnotized by the powers of the lake. Meanwhile, beneath the lake sat a rusty two-door sedan with the skeletal remains of a little girl perfectly preserved in the back seat.
Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey into the story of Down by the Lake by Billy Van. As we come to the end of this video, we hope that you were spellbound by the chilling events that unfolded in this haunting tale. The lake, with its dark secrets and tragic past, serves as a powerful backdrop for the supernatural forces that continue to haunt the present. The echoes of the abused child's screams, the mysterious voices calling out, and the relentless pull of the lake's depths all contribute to a story that will linger in your thoughts long after the video ends. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more intriguing stories and captivating narratives, we encourage you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest content and ensure that you won't miss out on any thrilling adventures we have in store for you. We appreciate your support and invite you to share your thoughts and comments on Down by the Lake. Did the story send shivers down your spine? Did the mystery of the lake captivate your imagination? Let us know in the comments below. Once again, thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more thrilling stories in the future. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Until next time, may you navigate the waters of your own imagination with caution and curiosity.